Saya buat kenyataan 2 minggu lepas. You know, this is sekarang dah jadi krisis dah. Nama-nama besar macam ni, Kedah, Perak, Pahang, or whatever they call now, the club equivalent kan. Untuk mereka menarik diri daripada liga tempatan. Ini bukan klub picisan. Ini klub yang ada tradisi, yang ada sejarah, yang ada pedigree. And if they are going, and we know other clubs, walaupun kata nak main dalam musim yang akan datang, ada masalah kewangan. Ada yang belum bayar staff, belum bayar gaji. Saya kenal ramai terlibat. Is there a way out of it?
Halo guys, selamat datang di Informasi. Kali ini kita akan membahas komentar yang menarik datang dari seorang warga Malaysia. Ia menyebut klub-klub seperti Kedah dan Pahang sedang mengalami krisis keuangan. Banyak staf dan pemain yang belum dibayar, dan manajemen yang kacau menjadi masalah besar. Di tengah situasi seperti itu, gairah supporter Malaysia juga dinilai belum sehebat Indonesia. Di Indonesia, fanatisme supporter sepak bola bisa dibilang sudah mendarah daging. Stadion penuh sesak, koreografi megah, lagu-lagu penyemangat, dan loyalitas yang luar biasa terlihat di mana-mana. Bagi banyak orang, mendukung klub sepak bola bukan sekadar hobi, ini adalah bagian dari hidup mereka. Suporter Indonesia sering menjelaskan bahwa klub adalah identitas daerah dan kebanggaan mereka, sehingga rela memberikan segalanya demi klub tercinta. Mengapa bisa berbeda sejauh itu? Budaya sepak bola. Di Indonesia, sepak bola menjadi perekat sosial yang mempersatukan daerah. Rivalitas antar daerah yang sengit justru menambah daya tariknya. Sejarah panjang. Liga Indonesia memiliki tradisi panjang dan sejarah rivalitas yang sudah membentuk kultur supporter sejak puluhan tahun lalu. Manajemen klub. Walau ada banyak masalah di sepak bola Indonesia, banyak klub yang mampu mempertahankan hubungan baik dengan supporter, sehingga loyalitas tetap terjaga.
2 hari lepas, saya dan co-host saya, saya dan co-host saya, we have a show on Astro called Bola Itu Live. Both of us went to Indonesia to cover Persib Bandung's last final game. And kita orang bertolak ke Indonesia tu dengan emosi yang agak negatif. Because I'm a Perak supporter, my co-host Faiz is from Gurun. He's a Kedah boy. So we're trying to go and experience football culture whilst at the same time dealing with the fact that our own teams have shut shop. But having been there and experienced what we experienced, which we all documented, and I just, my initial and general conclusion is that Malaysia masih tidak ada budaya bola sepak. It's not strong enough. It really isn't strong enough. I think we can talk about club needing to manage spending, perlu mengikut budget, no need to overspend, because that's the reality of bola sepak Malaysia kan. Kelab-kelab kalau ada budget 80 juta, dia spend 90 juta on gaji sahaja. Belum ambil kira operational cost, belum ambil kira travel and all the other stuff. There is a culture of overpaying, overcompensating dalam Malaysian football. Everything is awal musim, apa target kita? 1 piala, 2 piala, 1 piala. There is nothing about sustainability 3 tahun ke, you know, those things we rarely hear with the exception of clubs like JDT of course, Selangor and all that. But putting all of that aside, benda paling basic is the clubs in Malaysia don't even make an effort to create some sort of sense of belonging. Because how long more, berapa lama lagi kita akan cuba guilt trip penyokong untuk sokong pasukan lokal. Kita akan cuba marah, guilt trip them or be sarcastic about them. Tengok EPL tapi tak nak sokong local team. How long more are we going to do all these things to convince people to watch local football instead of genuinely building a sense of connection dengan diorang that makes them want to support? Because I realize that in places like Bandung in Indonesia, they don't support Persib Bandung because they want Liga 1 to be prosperous. Mereka tidak menyokong Persib Bandung untuk bola sepak Indonesia jadi prosperous. Some of them couldn't even care less about Timnas or care less about the health of Liga 1. They support Persib Bandung because Persib Bandung is a part of their identity. It's within their blood. Diwarisi as they say it over there. I can't think of a culture like that here at all. All throughout saya punya upbringing, we were always just told, sokong club supaya Liga kukuh. Kalau Liga kukuh, baru national team kukuh. Yeah, but as a fan, mungkin it is not my duty to think of Liga or to think of, maybe I should just start by asking, what does this team mean to me? And I think that is at the very basic core yang teams need to start to rethink. Forget about the finance, all comes after that. Tapi first and foremost, how do you build a sense of connection to the point yang if a team tutup shop, fans stick to the streets. When I go and have conversations with Malaysian football fans and perhaps even ask them questions like, oh, why do you support this team? Why do you support the team? A lot of the answers are, related to the fact that, oh, I come from Kedah, so I support Kedah. I come from Perak, I support Perak. But I think the clubs don't give them a reason, or the clubs don't give them an environment to experience the culture at a deeper level. Macam saya pernah tanya seorang penyokong Persija Jakarta, part of Jakmania, kumpulan penyokong Jakmania. Saya tanya dia, kenapa you sokong Persija? Dia punya jawapan is, sebenarnya Jakarta ni adalah tempat, a melting pot of people from all parts of Indonesia datang mencari peluang untuk kelangsungan hidup. And bila datang di Jakarta, melting pot of cultures, a lot of us meninggalkan rumah, meninggalkan comfort zone, meninggalkan budaya, meninggalkan family untuk datang ke sini. Essentially kami di Jakarta adalah homeless. Tetapi Persija Jakarta adalah menawarkan home for the homeless. Like that sort of connection can only be, benda tu tak boleh, you tak boleh paksa anyone to have that connection. It's organically built kan. So I think, and that only happens because those clubs, those fan clubs are very active at the grassroots. They're constantly involved doing things. And I suppose we don't have that culture here as of now, at least. Perhaps it existed in the mid-90s or prior to that.